Welcome to Vanguardlive Sports. My name is Damiola Odushake. First, let's look at what we'll be discussing today. Of course, I'll be looking at Liverpool's name engraved on EPL trophy. Jose rejects a move to Fenerbahce, and EPL grant Liverpool start special permission. And also, we'll be looking at, of course, yesterday's match. And now, finally, the moments that fans have been waiting for, moments that Liverpool fans have been waiting for. Of course, nearly a month after the the EPL trophy, Liverpool's name has finally been engraved on the EPL trophy. So on Tuesday, a video was actually released on Twitter of the Reds' name being engraved on the trophy and finally taking its place alongside the likes of Chelsea, Manchester United, and Manchester City. Jurgen Klopp's side became the earliest champions in Premier League history, clinching the title with 7 games still to play when Manchester City were beating at Chelsea in June. Of course, it would have been earlier than before if it was not for, of course, the pandemic. We know that they would have clinched it earlier before then. Of course, we had Liverpool fans saying that that's part of the reason that it's really paining them. They will have broken the record for a long time, which will be very difficult for other clubs to break. But still, it's still very early. And of course, the club men have been taking their foot off the gas since winning just twice and losing at Manchester City and Arsenal, and have blown their chance to break the Premier League points record. That's 100 points. But they still hold the mammoth 18-point lead over Pep Guardiola's men at the top of the table and have the chance to sign off in style this week. Frank Lampard's Chelsea are the visitors tonight before Liverpool go to Newcastle on the final day of the campaign. Club's men will leave the trophy in a special ceremony on the cup following the visit of Chelsea, a match which is free to air. Of course, Sir Kenny Dalglish will present the Premier League trophy to Jordan Henderson. Dalglish will be joined at the ceremony, during which medals will be presented to club squad by Richard Masters and the Premier League's chief executive. And of course, EPA grants Liverpool special permission, a special start permission. Talking about this is what a lot of Liverpool fans have been looking at. That even if their fans are not allowed to see them being accepting the trophy, of course they need to allow their family members. And now, of course, Premier League has reportedly granted Liverpool's special dispensation to have their families in attendance for their Premier League trophy lift tonight. The newly crowned champions will finally get their hands on the Premier League trophy after their game against Chelsea at Anfield tonight. And Jordan Klopp's side were, of course, they were officially crowned them. That's last month. And according to, of course, Liverpool Echo, the Reds have provisionally been given the green light to invite family members to the ceremony. And Liverpool are open of small members of people will be allowed to Anfield to watch their loved ones leave the trophy. But Premier League grounds are currently off limit to fans, and the majority of people with only a select few allowed entrance to games to minimize the risk of spreading COVID-19. Right now, I know a lot of other people feel like causing this disease, saying why is it coming at this time, especially Liverpool fans who are getting these should I say this privilege after 30 years, and now they are supposed to be there to look at these historic moments for them. It's a very great moment for them. But I think them watching it and also seeing it, it's also still going to be a privilege. I think them still getting the cup, it does not matter whether behind closed doors playing their match or still getting their trophy without the people, with the fans, but just with their family members. I think it's still a good team. And going from there, still talking about Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp has actually joked that he will not follow in the footsteps of Sir Kenny Dalglish by bringing himself on as a late substitute during the Liverpool's Premier League title party tonight. And of course, let's just talk a little about Sir Kenny Dalglish, who will be giving the trophy to Liverpool. And of course, Sir Kenny Dalglish is a Scottish former football player and manager. And during his career, he made 322 appearances for Celtic and 502 for Liverpool, and earned a record of 102 full caps for the Scotland national team, scoring 30 goals also a joint record. Dalglish won the Ballon d'Or Silver award in 1983 and the PFA Player of the Year in 1983 and the FWA Footballer of the Year in 1973 and 1983. In 2009, 442 named Dalglish the greatest striker in post-war British football, and in 2006 it topped a Liverpool fans full of 100 players who shook the cup. He has been inducted into both the Scottish and English Football Halls of Fame. And of course, he made just 3 appearances across all competition in the past 3 seasons, but brought himself off the bench for a quick run out at Anfield. Because with the title being soon up for Liverpool, a club has he was jokingly asked so that he will cross his mind to copy Dalglish, the club legend who made a cameo appearance in the pitch towards the end, afterward winning his 3rd league title in 5 seasons as player manager with the Reds. But club says that there's no chance he will come as a sub for the game. But of course, what Dalglish did was a very good thing, but he won't follow that step. And now talking about the other transfer team, and that's Ozil. Arsenal's outcast, that's Mesut Ozil, has turned down a move to Turkish outfit, that's Fenerbahce, after they were unable to match his empty salary, and that's according to reports. And the 31-year-old player, of course, has failed to feature for a single minute under Mikel Arteta since the restart, and his Emirates nightmare brought to an sorry end this summer. Of course, it has been reported that Ozil's wife, that's Emine Guse, is the driving force behind the potential switch to Turkey. Of course, talking about the wife is actually a Turkish citizen and also a Turkish actress. So they are thinking that maybe it's the wife that is trying to make him move over to Fenerbahce. But according to reports, they were able to move to afford his £350 million a week deal. And of course, that's really, really a lot. And them not being able to afford it, I think that's what has made him to reject it. But looking at his wife still pushing it, a lot of people are asking, wondering why, since he entered Arsenal, the performance they were really waiting for him to give, he has been unable to give out that performance. But we just hope, of course, his ambition has yet to materialize with, of course, Istanbul's Basaksehir, who also prepared to formalize their interest in Mesut Ozil. But of course, now still talking about EPL. Of course, we talked about, I think, Ballon d'Or, where we said Ballon d'Or was cancelled, and due to some of the fans were really, really sad about that. I think we just talked about it yesterday. Now let's just talk about talking about Mikel Ezit from Trabzonspor. I think some early this year we're talking about when this COVID-19 was still going on, so hot, and football clubs, football leagues were postponing it and just halting it for the meantime. Of course, Trabzonspor they didn't stop, and they still kept on playing, and they stopped. They didn't really cancel the activities, and this led to Mikel Ezit. And of course, the fans now are really blaming Trabzonspor, saying that if they had really, really followed what Mikel's request, of course they would not have lost. And of course, in what passed for post league assessment to the fans, hoping that the decision to part ways with Nigerian Mikel John Obi was not only wrong but proved to be costly. And according to the fans, the former Super Eagles captain was not only an instant hit on arriving at the club, but made huge impact to the point that the club lost only 2 matches out of 19 while he was in the midfield. And a cross section of the club fans also took to Twitter to all pebbles at club management for what they dubbed poor judgment. And of course, that's what they're saying. The fans are really, really angry and looking at Trabzonspor, saying that Mikel should be allowed back and they should look for a way to bring him back. Of course, we don't know how that will work out. And now talking about Newcastle. Of course, Newcastle, a €3 million Saudi takeover stalls and indefinitely. Newcastle are planning for next season under Mike Ashley's and Steve Bruce, and growing doubt over proposed £3 million takeover. And the deal has been complicated still further after Saudi Arabia permanently cancelled the license of being sports to broadcast in the country, and the Qatar-based being the Premier League's right holders in the Middle East. And this means that there will be no legal means of watching top flight football in Saudi. Of course, sources indicated that at the start of the week, that an announcement on the €3 million Saudi-led takeover remained that it will be approved in part because of government involvement behind the scenes. And now coming over to Nigeria, of course, Super Eagles and Bordeaux forward Samuel Kalu has tested for positive to COVID-19. Of course, the 22-year-old forward who was stranded in Nigeria for a while due to the closure of international borders because of the global pandemic, managed to find his way back to France on the 2nd of July this month. And according to close source, he was tested for coronavirus on his arrival. However, the club announced that a positive case among the players of Bordeaux refused to disclose the identity of the player for medical confidentiality. And of course, the AFCON 2019 bronze winner has been in isolation since the opening of camp and might be left out of some of the games. Preseason games. Of course, he is not the only player that tested positive to coronavirus, and of course they've really come out of it. And of course, and looking at also Kelvin Dalglish at the time also tested positive to COVID-19 earlier this year, and of course is out of it, and he has been able to win the battle and also come out safely of it. And now talking about Chinese taking over Nigerian league. Of course, Nigerian league governing body, the league management company, that's LMC, has confirmed reports of a speculated $200 million worth TV broadcast rights deal, the highest in Africa for the Nigerian Professional Football League, that's NPFL, this season. The LMC claimed that the circulating information of the multi-million dollar broadcast deal with Chinese business entity, that's the Next TV, was true, and that all 20 clubs over $200 million in projected have been briefed of over the 5-year deal worth over $200 million in projected income and other commercial inflows. Now, looking at talking about today's fixtures. Of course, today's fixtures, Man United will be home to West Ham and Liverpool will be home to Chelsea. And also yesterday's match results, Watford was home to Man City. They lost to Man City, and that's with 0-4. And Aston Villa won their match against Arsenal, finally exiting the relegation zone. And today's match, of course, we have people looking forward to the clash between Liverpool and Chelsea. Of course, this team, they are power teams, strong teams, and who is going to win and how is the score going to come out. So you can always put your predictions in the comment section. Let's see what you think. And also Manchester United and 16th place the West Ham, who do you think is going to win for that? I know for Manchester United, currently they have 62 points with Leicester City, who is the 4th place, and Manchester United 5th place. And they are looking forward to winning this match, and their last match is Leicester City, so that they can qualify for the Champions League. And of course, this is something that is really, really going to be tough if they don't win their match with West Ham today. That means for their next match, their points, even if they win Leicester City, it might be very, very difficult for them to qualify for the Champions League. And also Liverpool and Chelsea. Of course, Liverpool is the winners with 93 points and Chelsea has 63 points. I'm talking about the teams that are in the relegation zone, and that's Watford with 34 points, Bournemouth with 31, and Norwich City with 21 points. I'm still looking forward to Sunday, because Sunday match we have a lot of match that will be happening on Sunday with Watford also will be playing on Sunday, and Aston Villa will be playing on Sunday. Aston Villa with 17 points and Watford with 34 points and Watford with 34 points, and they play 7 matches and they have their last match on Sunday. Also, this will be determining their match on Sunday will determine who will stay, who will be relegated, and also who will survive the relegation. Of course, West Ham have survived it with 37 points. and 16th position. And that's all we have for you on Vanguard Live Sports. Don't forget that you can always like and follow us on our social media platforms that are showing on your screen, or visit our website www.vanguardngr.com to get more of our top stories and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's bye from me on Vanguard Live Sports.